Good morning, everybody. It's Cathy here at the Magical Urban Vegetable Garden. I hope you can hear me. I couldn't find my earbuds. But today we are going to talk about growing your own sprouts. There's so many people, we're all trying to lessen our carbon footprint and have healthier food. And, in winter it's harder to do, right? There's, obviously up here in the north, you're not growing a garden or very little. And it's, not so easy, but growing sprouts is one of those things that you can do very easily. And there's a variety of reasons I like it. For one, you don't need a garden. Anybody can do this, whether you have physical limitations or whatever. You don't need dirt. You just need good, clean, potable water, a couple of mason jars and some screens, and some good sprouting seeds and fresh water, right? Like it's a super easy thing to do. You can do it right on your countertop. And it's not something that takes a lot of effort, like a couple of minutes a day. I can see somebody's here. Hello. Be sure and say hello when you guys pop in. It's been a while since we've done this. I'd love to say hello. So one of the biggest things that I see, I did some research, of course, before, coming into this, because, my mom grew sprouts, when I was growing up, and, this was back in the 70s, and, we lived basically off grid, and people just did it. It wasn't a big thing. But apparently, it's one of those things, like with anything else, where if you don't have proper cleanliness and all that, and you're not aware of things, you can get sick because things can get contaminated, right? So, hey, Susan. Yeah, from Las Vegas, and Chris. Oh, good to see you both here. So the big thing that in the reading that I did that happens with people is that you can get things like, when commercially people, things are grown, there's the occasional, contamination with salmonella or, things like that. So that's one of the things, when you're growing at home. There we go. And you can help eliminate a lot of those issues that come from the big commercial things just by keeping things clean. It's like when you're cooking food or anything else, washing your hands properly before you start handling things, making sure your jars are cleaned with hot soapy water, and just regular old mason jars, a couple of wide mouths is what I like. You can sterilize them or give them an extra cleaning, pour some boiling water in. That's what we used to sterilize just about everything with, from canning to whatever you cleaned it with, and same things with the lids and screens. So these, I got a set of these, the screens with the stainless steel screens with the stainless steel rings, which I like. Some of the ones you get from the store, they end up rusting over time. I like the stainless steel because obviously they're going to last, they're easy to clean, they're not plastic. And, a set of them with a little stand, the two little stands cost me I think it was like 20 bucks at the time off Amazon. And they haven't changed much in price since, and you actually get a little bit more for them. You can actually, if you're really strapped for cash and that's still just out of, the realm of possibility. My mom used to do it with clean cotton. You don't want to use cheesecloth, because your seeds get caught up in it, especially your small seeds, but use a smooth, sterilized material. Make sure your cloth is sanitized and clean, and a rubber band around the thing. That can work too. It doesn't drain as well. It takes a little more work. I definitely like these better. But a little imagination goes a long way. Now the seeds, I have a variety here. Of course, I got the one I ordered a bunch from West Coast Seeds, but there's all kinds of places that you can order them from. And little thing like this probably has a cup, maybe a cup and a half. Matt, get down. See, my kitty's saying hi. Depending on the kind of seed, my beloved radish seeds. I love radish seeds. They're so spicy and good. This cost about $12, and you have maybe a cup and a little bit more in it. Do you know how many growings I get out of this? I use maybe a good tablespoon or tablespoon and a half at a time in a big mason jar, and I get many, many, many servings out of just one. And I've got, you know, a couple others. Look for ones, you know, maybe you don't use too much. There's a sandwich booster. It's a whole mix of stuff. Alfalfa sprouts. I mean, you pay like $5 a crack at the store for alfalfa sprouts. This cost me, what, $10? And it, you know, obviously I'm going to get a lot of alfalfa sprouts out of this. Now I've got a jar here that's ready to go. It's been sitting here, you know, sprouting. And I want to show you a couple things. It's really important to give your screens a good cleaning when you're done. I think you can see a little bit here. Often there's kind of like a resin that comes from the sprouts as they're growing. And you want to take a good, you know, scrubber to it, or like an SOS pad. I don't know if you can see around the edges there, some bits of brown. That will grow bacteria eventually if you don't remove it between growings, right? It's fine for while you do it. And the other thing is with growing sprouts is that you need a good potable water source. Potable water means that it is a suitable drinking water source that is filtered or purified, and it's suitable for human consumption. So, you know, if your tap water's fine, I have amazing tap water here, whether I choose to be on the town system or in, you know, on my spring water. I'm always on the spring water, but let me see if I can see here. Oh, hey, Claire. Good to see you too. And Chris, oh goodness, we really do have a wide variety. Scotland and Chicago and Las Vegas and all over the place. But I want to talk about using the water that you have. This whole thing with buying bottled water, I mean, unless your water is just not fit for drinking, is another thing that's, you know, I just think is a ridiculous waste of money and killing our planet. You know, get a Brita filter or, you know, filtration system. But you can use, as long as your tap water is good to drink, you can use that. And you want to take and rinse a couple of times a day. Okay, nice cold water, and then you turn them upside down, you know, to drain. Now, I'm going to tell you a couple things here. I got a tray. I gotta drain this because it's drained a lot already. I got a tray from the dollar store, you know, cheap to set these on, and it's easy to clean. You're probably going to want to give it a scrub every day just because the water that drains out of them will start turning mucky after a while. So you want to give your thing a scrub just to make sure that it stays clean and whatever. But it's really not hard. And once they get to this point, you can just take your jar and stick it in the fridge like this and give it a rinse once a day. Right, to just keep them crisp and fresh. They're so nutritious, they're so tasty, and you can use them for anything. You know, if you're the kind of person that's looking for more natural nutrients, I mean, it's not just sandwiches or your, you know, toast in the morning that you can add it to. I mean, you can add it by, you know, the handfuls to your smoothies and, you know, whatever it is that you like. And it's just a heck of a lot cheaper and, you know, a lot less hauling stuff from the grocery store. So I hope that helps. Do you have any questions? Your water has a lot of chlorine in it. Actually, you know what? I've grown sprouts with water that has chlorine. Like, it might depend on the levels that you have. So here's something that I learned years ago from somebody that grows, shall we say, well, it's legal here in Canada. They grow their own weed. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you know any good growers, they hands down know growing any kind of plant better than just about any professional I know. Okay, I'm just going to say that if they have advice to give you on growing in your garden or nutrients or, you know, cycles or what you're looking for, take advice from them because they know what they're talking about. They're another level altogether. And what this person would do with the chlorine in the water that he had, they would put them all in 5-gallon buckets overnight, because as chlorine is exposed to the air, it loses its strength, and then they would water all their plants with it. So if you have really strong chlorine and you're worried that it might be something that might work with it, maybe try one jar with and one without. See if it has any effect. It might not. It might depend on the kind of seed, and it is going to, I don't want to say evaporate, but it does lose its strength. And, by the time you go to eat it, it should be, evaporated, right? That's why it's used, chlorine is used in the restaurant industries and stuff so much, because it's good for a short term, but it doesn't have some of the long-term effects, like smelling it and stuff that you might have, with other sort of commercial cleaners. But see if that works. Like if it's something that you're worried about, have a container or whatever, fill it at night, let it sit, give it a stir early and, give it a stir to just make sure it's exposed to the air, and then use that in the morning to, rinse your seeds out. Does that help? I hope that helps. Chris, you run your water through a Brita filter. Yeah, just something that maybe takes a little bit of, the extra cleaners out, because we're very lucky in this country to have, good water systems. I know that, we, there's a lot of people complain about it, but my mother-in-law, for example, comes from Thailand, and over there's still open sewer systems. Like, clean water is an iffy thing. And, people don't realize how lucky they are here. And so, I think that when we simply have to run something through a Brita filter, or maybe leave it sit overnight, we're pretty fortunate because it's good water, right? Anyways, any other questions before you go? Here, I'll pull this off here so that I can switch this. Why can I never find this? Can't find it. I'll just turn this here so you can see the settings, the setup I have. I just got a couple. I'm actually at the point where I want to get a couple more. So as I rotate them through the fridge and everything, I still have a couple going. So you'll have to decide, what works for you. Go to the website. I also did a blog post on this. There's a link in the description here. I also did a blog post on this, and so there's a couple of links to like the nutritional value of like alfalfa sprouts, and I think one or two others that are on there. Links to the resources that I used when I started getting mine. And it's a very inexpensive setup that's going to last you a really long time, and really helps eliminate, some of these costs of food. Anyway, leave me a comment below. Thank you guys for showing up. It's good to see you again, and we'll definitely have to join, get together more often here. What is Susan saying here? I did lentil sprouts with tap water, very hard water with chlorine, and it came out just fine to get rid of the chlorine. I filled a pitcher with tap water and leave it in the refrigerator. Yeah, see, there you go. The chlorine smell blows off in about 15 to 20 minutes. To freshen up the tap water, I had fresh squeezed lemon juice. Never use the bottled stuff at the store. Yeah, see, there's very simple ways to, get away from spending a bunch of money and giving our money to corporations that really don't need it. So thanks, guys. We'll talk again soon, and you have a fantastic Sunday. Bye for now.